Where do we start? What is going on, guys? I have had the worst 3 weeks. Every single thing has gone wrong. I'm gonna go ahead and play this video, and I'm gonna kind of interject here and there, but let's just say literally everything has not gone according to plan. I have not been making videos because everything has gone wrong. So I hope you guys are appreciating, you know, obviously I didn't have to make this video, but we had a major engine failure on the Bullet with idle time. And I've come to figure out the reason for that engine failure. No, it wasn't that we got a bad engine, which is what I originally thought, is that we had a bad engine, but turns out a very, very simple mistake on my part caused this engine to fail. And there's been a lot of other things going on. You know, I had just a really big problem on something else, you know, and we've been waiting for the merchandise inventory. This is not a rant, or you guys aren't my therapist or something like that, but let's just say that everything has gone wrong for me, and it's just been awful. You know, let's just get into the video and we'll fill you guys in. What is going on, guys? We are starting back with the turbo Bullet. So we're waiting for a few fittings to come in, and we're gonna be throwing a fuel system in this. For some reason, the stock returnless fuel system is just not working. We dug through pretty much everything, and I think the best solution is gonna be going to throw in a return style fuel system. We have a Division X hat. We're gonna run a 465 return pump. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a fairly simple setup. Very similar to the Lethal budget 2-valve return system. We're gonna use stock rails, air motive regulator, boost reference, of course, 55 PSI rail pressure, regulator pressure, and run a return line, 6 AN to the back, use the stock feed. Super simple, but that is going to have plenty of fuel for this, so it'll actually be able to run E85 as well. Granted, we're not going to be trying to crank the power and boost way up, but could you run E85? Absolutely. So it may support E85 depending on the injectors. You might have to swap injectors later if you do win this car. But if you guys do want to enter the giveaway, every $5 you spend right now is 10 entries, 10 times entries. Definitely go down in the description. We have new ML stickers right there. We also have the new Turbo Bullet t-shirts as well. Those should be coming in this week, ready to ship. I'm super excited about those. We'll have a lot more fun stuff coming. So definitely get entered to win this car. Help support all the crazy things we do on the channel. We're going to be starting the crazy drag build on the 07 GT500 here very soon. So let's hop into the install. We are still waiting for one fitting. It's coming in through FedEx. Should be here today. That one is going to go from the stock fuel line to the regulator. And then this one goes directly onto the rail. So what that's doing is just basically intercepting the stock feed. We got a return out of here. We're gonna go on to our 6 AN line, so we'll make that end on the 6 AN line. And then we have our 6 AN line. We just kind of have it mocked up here, but that's what we're using for the return. It'll spit out off of this thing. We have some miscellaneous fittings. We had to order some different fittings. So right here is our feed. This is actually a dual pump setup. I haven't decided if we're gonna run the dual pump or if we're just gonna go single pump, because a single 465 is more than enough fuel that we need. So I might just cap off one of these. Return comes out of here. This one goes to the stock feed. This one's the return, the 6 AN return. We got a nice little wiring harness right here. It'll also hook in for our level sender that we got down there. So overall, not too bad of a install. So we're gonna go ahead and start dropping the tank back down, pull the stock hat out that we already had apart twice. We also have the Lethal plug-and-play fuel system wiring with dual relay. Obviously, I think we're only going to run one pump because we have a single 465 is more than enough to support probably around, let's just say 500 wheel horsepower, and we're only shooting for 400. So I think that a single 465 should be plenty enough for our setup here. Alright guys, so I'm not sure where we left off this video, but the goal was to make a really nice video for the fuel system install. Had a bunch of issues trying to find little itty bitty parts. They took a while to come in, and we needed a few fittings. We needed a fuel level sender. I actually had to get two. One broke, which was the original one. We got one from NPD, but very annoying, super frustrating. The fuel system is in finally. We got a single 465 pump in a dual hat with a dual pump harness. So this will actually be a good system for E85, around 500 wheel horsepower. We're not really going to be pushing that. I don't even think we're going to tune it on E85. But it is there for the future owner of this car. If they want to go ahead and run E85, they can. They can also add another pump, build the motor, and make 800 plus wheel horsepower, 900. The previous owner of this turbo kit actually made 900 wheel horsepower with a built motor 2-valve. What I am doing here is giving you the basis of a really fun 400 wheel horsepower street car that you can definitely build upon. So I just put some water in the radiator, and I got some wiring stuff to do, the boost gauge, the wideband, and finish off the fuel system wiring. So I'm gonna knock that out here real quick. All right, so looks like we got some bad news. The car was just running. I got the fuel system wire, the gauges are wired in, and just had the car running, idling, trying to check for leaks and everything, and it turned off. And I was like, well, that's weird. Now it won't turn on. Took all 8 spark plugs out. Didn't see any major signs of concern. You know, see if there was maybe flooding the car with fuel or water. I don't really see that. It was running a little rich. You can see the black tips, but there isn't really any raw fuel on the spark plugs. Now that the spark plugs are out, I went and tried to turn the balancer by hand, took the belt off, and it does not move at all. It has oil in it, it has water in it, but I can't really tell you what is wrong with it at this point. This is obviously a huge issue with the giveaway and the schedule of everything going on. So I think I'm gonna drop the oil out of it, see what that looks like, and I don't know, I might have to pull this engine out, which really, really sucks. So yeah, I guess stay tuned. Really stressed at this moment. I was really hoping to have this car done and kind of move on from there, but it's not having the best of luck lately. Alright, so obviously I got the fuel system in. This took like 2 weeks to do, to get a fuel system in the car. And it's because I was waiting for a part here, take 3 days, another one took another 3 days, another one took another 3 days. This took forever to get the fuel system in. Finally, fuel system in, it's working. I pulled the car forward. Everything was starting to look good on the car, and I was really excited. Idling, you know, starting to rev it up, see if it's running good. And I revved it up to about 3,000, and boom, RPMs pulls right down to 0, engine stalled. So let's go ahead and play it. We'll go ahead and pull the motor out and tear it down. Alright, so we're gonna drain the oil. This pan isn't perfectly clean, but should be able to see. This is like brand new oil, so. Wow, that looks brand new.
Yeah, it was because I was looking through here.
Do you mind taking the ratchet? I don't know about you, but that looks brand new.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you see any metal? You got a light? I see nothing.
A little bit.
Metal?
Yeah, see it? It's metallic-y, like.
See it? Yeah, I think I see something. And so the engine pull starts. Draining the water out, oil's already out. And drop the K member, figure out why this engine locked up. Alright, so we're almost ready to drop the K member out. Got the turbo kit
out. We can leave the intercooler and some charge pipes on it. Got the oil feed return off. Yep. We're about ready to drop her out. The AC compressor, again, we'll leave hooked up. We'll kind of swing that out and around and back up. Fuel, pressure regulator, everything is pretty much off, so we're gonna drop her out. It is locked up tight, so if you look here, try and do this one-handed. Doesn't move at all. And go backwards. Nothing. So couldn't tell you why it locked up. There was oil in the feed and return lines, so that would indicate to me that we had oil pressure. But yeah, I guess we'll just pull the pan once it's off and try to figure out what's going on with this thing. You can keep going. I don't think it hits the light. Alright, just like that. What's that, 2 hours? Maybe. I didn't film any of it, but probably about 2 hours and she's out. Full turbo kit and everything. But gotta do what we gotta do. Oh man. Not fun. I'm a mess, shop's a mess, engine's a mess. So here we are, from a complete running car to a pile of parts. Game members out, turbo kit's out, intake manifold's off, trans is off. And I literally haven't done anything. I just pulled the pan. So on first analysis, oh, maybe not. I thought I saw some orange in there, but I can see little chips. Just barely some metal in the pickup, but you can actually see it on the pickup, not the screen, but everything else. So that's interesting. And then we go and look at this pan. I had freshly cleaned this pan right before this went together, and it is all metal. So yeah, we're gonna need to find out where that came from, because yeah, I mean, that's not good. And the only thing I did to this engine was swap oil pans and swap valve cover gaskets. So unless somehow the cams are hitting the valve covers, don't know how that'd be possible, but we can pull those. But yeah, this does not look good. This, you can see right there, there's some metal shavings going right there, and the engine doesn't spin over at all. Let's try that. Alright, well, as far as I can see, the only thing I was worried about in terms of something I did wrong was maybe put too much RTV, dipped down, clogged up the oil pickup, but that is clearly not the issue. I put RTV here, I put RTV there, there, the corners of the oil pan, and that is it. We didn't have any RTV drip in, and at this point, I'm kind of lost as to what failed, what caused the failure. I have no idea. We got a very, very shiny oil pan, and we got a seized motor engine. That's just crazy. Idle time, literally idle time. I have no idea what could cause this. All right, so we got everything about wrapped up. I will probably update this video once we kind of figure out what we're doing here, because This engine right here, no good. And we need this car to go vroom vroom. So poor SN95 becoming a table again. But yeah, we got everything kind of spread out. K-member, the locked up engine, but we pretty much got everything off of it. The brand new clutch, turbo headers, turbo kit. We left, you know, the intercooler on it because that's mounted now. But yeah, we will figure out what we are gonna do here because we definitely need to get this thing running.
All right, so obviously you guys saw that I was pretty stumped, didn't know what was wrong with it. So turns out this is a Lincoln 462 valve. There's nothing wrong with using a Lincoln 462 valve. You can use a Crown Vic 2 valve. The long block is exactly the same. There are differences in the oil pickup, which wouldn't be a problem if you were using the original pan. Obviously, I swapped on the Bullett's original pan because it had a return return fitting for the turbo. Swapped the pan on, and this is something I talked to Jordan. Jordan's like, man, why didn't you check oil pickup clearance? I'm like, yeah, it's something that he was talking about. You know, obviously some of you guys may just call me an idiot for not doing this. It was a stupid mistake, but I had no idea. My friend Nick Curtin, you guys know him from doing the Mark 8 swap, the Coyote swaps. He was like, shoot, he's like, you were supposed to swap the Mustang pickup tube onto the Lincoln. I didn't know that there was any difference. So the Lincoln pan is significantly deeper than the Mustang pan. So when I put a Mustang pan on it, the pickup tube slams right to the bottom of the pan. And what that does is it doesn't allow oil to get up in there. So while the oil pressure gauge showed that it did have oil pressure, it didn't, it might have 1 or 2 psi. The oil pressure gauge is not very accurate in the car. So it turns out that that is what caused what I would assume is probably from failure of having some lubrication, some bearing failure. Seized it right up on the crank doesn't move. You can see that one spot on the block, you can see where it's kind of slinging metal. So unfortunately, I just cost myself a good amount of money, a good amount of stress, and a good amount of time as we're approaching the end of the giveaway. Which is not what I wanted. The whole goal with giving away this car is not because I wanted to get rid of it, because one, I want to share the experience with someone else. But two, I didn't want to just sell the car. I wanted someone else to enjoy it. And three, make some space, because the GT500 is going to be my full-on drag car, and I just didn't have enough space for both of them. So I hope you guys are still interested in the Bullet giveaway. I'm hopefully picking up the merchandise inventory that's been taking forever. Another thing stressing me out. Everything has been super stressful. But we should be picking up the merchandise inventory tomorrow and then getting a lot of the stuff shipped out that I know you guys are waiting for. You guys do want to enter the giveaway. Every $5 you spend on the website gets you an entry to win the Bullet. This car is going to be 100% dialed before we give it away. We are like less than 30, oh my god, this thing ends the 31st. So obviously I got a lot of work to do. We canceled our trip. We were going to go up north and bring the car. It didn't work. So if you guys do want to support the channel, I've been super stressed about literally everything, and I just keep dumping money to the Bullet, and it's not working out so great, but and everyone keeps texting me and emailing me while I try to record these clips. But anyways, make sure you go enter the giveaway. This car will be 100% dialed. It's not going to be some half-assed, piece of crap thrown together. This will be the setup that we ran in the car before. Fortunately, I learned a hard lesson on oil pickup clearance. I picked up another engine, and when I took it apart, I was not a big fan of this engine anyways, but I got it from the same guy. It looked like shit, and I really wasn't feeling so confident about it. 2 exhaust manifold studs snapped off of it. One of the intake bolts snapped on it. I was like, wow, this is really weird. This is not a typical, Florida low mileage engine. Popped the pan off. There were 3 big chunks of metal in the pickup. I said, hell no. So I swapped that out. I got a nice, fresh 2 valve. This thing is super clean, low mileage, Motorcraft oil filter. I already swapped the pickup tube. and the pan, got it cleaned up. I didn't even film any of this. I've been so stressed I haven't even been able to like literally do anything, you know, and I'm really trying to do a lot of different things and it's not been going well. But please like this video, comment down below, subscribe if you are new, enter the giveaway, and hopefully things start turning around because I got so much going on and this car was not supposed to be a big, long project. So with that, I will leave you and I will see you guys in the next video.